Oh, almost.
Oh, wow. Okay. We'll get soil. Cool. Down he goes.
Hey guys, welcome back to a brand new video adventure. Today I'm coming to you from the wonderful state of Maryland. The reason I'm here is myself and a few others were invited down here to check out Fort Howard. It's an old military installation that has a lot of history tied to it. And from what I've seen on the pictures, it looks like a really neat location. I'm actually really excited to check it out. I'm also going to share just a little bit of information with you guys. And a little bit later on in the video, you will see who else is with me today. So if you want to check it out, well, simply come along with me. So everyone is officially here and we are starting our tour. Obviously, you've seen MattPG, RJ78, Nick of Nick's Crossing, and Randy from Emerald Sound Productions. We are all down here because of Matt. Matt did invite all of us, and from what I've talked to Nick about, Nick's been here before. He does know a bit of the area. He's going to be kind of our unofficial tour guide, and along the way, we're going to see some cool things, learn some history, and he said he's saving the best for last, so make sure you watch to the end. All right, so before we go any further, I do want to share a little bit of information that I did find online. And I'm going to read this off word for word. I will put the link down below in the description. If you want to get more information, you can click the link or do a Google search. But it says Fort Howard was a military installation located on the North Point Peninsula overlooking the main channel of the Patapsco River leading into the harbor of Baltimore, Maryland. Although militarily important since the early 19th century, its surviving elements and name date to the Spanish-American War. It was named by, sorry if I mispronounce this, Elihu Root, Secretary of War under President Theodore Roosevelt, 1902, after Colonel John Eager Howard. The installation earned the nickname the Bulldog of Baltimore's Gate, serving as the coastal artillery headquarters for Baltimore, Maryland. Fort Howard's historical significance is its military connection with the War of 1812, the Spanish-American War, and World War II. So that is a brief summary of the importance of this place, but I'm sure we're going to learn more along the way. And of course, like I said, if you want to do your own research, you're welcome to. The thing I'm liking already is they do have these information boards here to help educate you on what you're looking at, what used to be located here. This is known as the battery key, and I'm going to show it to you in just a moment, but this is what it formerly looked like. Now the surrounding walls and everything is still there, but there's these big military firepower weapons, I guess you would call them cannons, but that's how it used to look, and here's how it looks today. So everything is kind of still here, minus the firepower, but it's a big circumference wall, and there's actually a few things to check out here. Matt's up there on the steps, Randy's down here.
You got a friend down here.
A friend? Tell me it's a snake.
That's ominous shit.
So there's a snake over there. I'm going to keep my distance. You know, I'm glad I brought a flashlight too. I didn't know you could actually go in these structures.
Halloween
Events.
Yeah, it says emergency exit only up there.
What is that in the tanks there? I was like,
Those are like those stretchy things back in the day.
that was an alien.
Whoa, that's really cool. Yeah, there's a dunk tank. I'm also looking for mama snake. If there's a baby snake, there's got to be mama around.
So this would be like a part of a haunted attraction, you think?
Yeah, this is part of it.
Oh, there's like fog machines.
Yeah, a couple of them. And a stereo. See, I won't go any further. I mean, this is part of the whole battery. Pretty crazy.
Yeah, so just envision where I'm standing here, there's actually big circles here, which you could probably see. Each of these circles was one of those big cannons or military weapons, whatever you want to call it. So I'm standing where a lot of activity took place, some very loud noise, but at the same time, you're protected by this giant wall here, which is pretty incredible. And we will get a look from up top. RJ's up there now. I think Matt went up there. But for our very beginning of this video, I am thoroughly impressed. There's actually a lot more here than I realized. And even though that's not supposed to be open, we just went in respectfully just to check it out really quick. But it should be closed, according to Nick. But yeah, let's see if we can maybe give you a brief shot of that snake from a distance. I'll extend the selfie stick and we'll go from there.
I take it you socially distance from snakes.
Very much so. Okay, so yeah, I'm sticking you guys out as far as I could go. I'm not going to go any closer. I don't think that snake would do much damage to me, but I don't want to press my luck, but I'll be respectful from a distance. Like Indy says, snakes. Why did it have to be snakes? So I'm going to join these guys. We're going to climb the stairs, and they did say there's some fantastic views from the top. On top of that, though, there's a pathway that connects to another one. So let's climb the stairs and get a view from the top.
Time for cardio. Let's take it.
You know, nobody told me there'd be exercise involved today. Legs are burning. Oh, after climbing those steps and getting my breath back, got a pretty fantastic view. Check this out. From here, you can see the layout of where the guns would have been. And this almost reminds me of like a dam or spillway, the way it's kind of angled downwards. Yeah, that looks pretty cool. But we're gonna continue that direction and check out some more. Following a little trail here and brings us to the second battery. This one is a bit more overgrown. Yeah, this one, replica of the other one, but a lot more greenery taking place here. Now the cool thing that Nick told me is that underneath the property here is all interconnecting tunnels. They used to obviously transport things and move from location to location underground without being seen. But unfortunately, those tunnels are no longer accessible. But boy, what I would do to get a tour down there.
Poison ivy before. I've always been around it.
Now these are my kind of steps, the kind you go down. The other great thing about doing this as a group is that from experience, we come to realize that having multiple sets of eyes is better than just one. Not only is it safety in numbers, but with a bunch of us here, we can actually kind of spread out and discover things that others might miss.
We got tunnels. Yeah, you know what? This is pretty neat.
Ooh. All right, so maybe I'll stand corrected. We do have somewhat of a tunnel to explore. I think Matt's back there now, and Randy's gonna be heading in, and we'll follow suit. All right, so we're gonna enter inside here. You can see it is a curved archway, and then it's kind of a peak right there in the middle. There would have been a door here at one point, probably a pretty heavy duty door, but it is concrete lined and goes for a little ways.
Oh, the sprickets. Steve crickets. Oh, that fell.
Now there is some graffiti in here, which is unfortunate, but pretty cool though. Let's get some light in here. Oh, sorry about that. There we go. As you may or may not see, this is just a little bit wider than shoulder width, for me at least. And I'm 5'11", this is probably about 6'2", 6'3", the highest point. So plenty of room for someone like myself. There's a lot of garbage in here though. Oh, there's some cave crickets.
Yeah, lots of them.
Oh.
So it's a hole in the ceiling. That's reassuring.
It's all right, there's another ceiling above it, it's just false.
These walls are kind of. Oh, there's an echo.
I don't like that.
Yeah. They don't want to do that too much.
Alright guys, come back down.
This must be the war room.
Yeah. I think this is because of the way you have the one main concrete wall, and then you have this separate concrete wall. I'm wondering if this was for ammunition storage, like where they stored all the artillery.
That's what I was guessing. Yeah, there's like concrete up there and some cave crickets.
That's a cool picture right there. Yeah, right there.
Sounds like King Kong is outside. No, it's just RJ.
We still have plenty of headroom there, so there's no door on here, so it's just wide open.
All right, we'll make our way back out.
As we have the other side here.
And yes, that is RJ making the thumping sound.
Welcome to the Fort Howard Park here.
And back to the daylight.
I'm joined with all the time here. Jay from JPVideos right here. Got someone else with the light.
What I'm entering here now is a little room here, which looks like it was like a lookout, but you're looking through one of 3 windows, and there's slits here, almost like a guard shack of sorts, which is pretty cool. Looks like there's maybe some type of holes up top you open for access, but yeah, it's a little concrete room. The walls are probably at least a foot thick, and I guess it's probably to protect or guard the battery area. Now the building to my right here, I'm going to show you in just a moment, is known as the powerhouse. At one time, the building housed all the generators and power distribution panels for the fort's gun emplacements. And you can tell they actually kept it pretty heavily protected here with the metal gates and doors and really thick concrete walls. And now it is restrooms, so a good way to utilize it and still keep it original.
What are you looking at? Get away from my jail cell. Arrgh.
Gotta get out of here. Hopefully this never becomes a reality. So back over there is the powerhouse that we just checked out. Had some fun with the photos with the gates. And over here, across from it, is some old ruins and remnants. You can see a lot of concrete footings. It's like a giant game of hopscotch or something.
I can't make that.
I'd be impressed if you could. And I believe this is taking us to another type of battery room or storage room. Looks like, yeah, probably for storage. This one doesn't have any placements for the guns here, and the doors are sealed. But it's a big concrete room. And Nick did state too that these are around at various places. These are originally would connect you down to the tunnels. Is that what you stated?
Yeah, I believe there are tunnels here. They're filled in.
There was tunnel access, but they are filled in, so we can't get access. Unfortunately, now these are just little, resemble like little pump houses. This one's partially flooded, actually. And it's water and debris in there.
These are like plug-ins to a building that have been there like post footings,
Yeah,
like a building on stilts.
yeah, something that was probably kind of high in the air or would allow access underneath of it. I know often, a lot of times on camera, things don't come across as far as orientation or perspective. That's why I like to do these little walkaways from the camera so you guys can see the actual size. Not that it's anything gargantuan or humongous, but just for good scale comparison. We just came from that direction and we came to a fork in the road. You could go right, but Nick said we should go left. But right here is another bulletin board here of sorts saying a Vietnamese village at Fort Howard, Duc Huc. So I'll put an image on the screen. You're welcome to pause it to read it. What looks like it would have been in this whole area right here. But we got to stay with Nick and see where we get going to next. At our next structure here, which looks like it to be a very high-end chicken coop, but it's not. Another board here says Civilian Contractors of Fort Howard. And specifically it says the 2 derelict buildings behind the sign were the contractors' barracks and mess hall. The red circle shows where they are located in the fort. Below are images of these buildings in the 1920s. So that is that building right there. And this one is what's left of it back there. And here we are at the red circle. So it's pretty neat how they have everything laid out to show you where everything is in reference to each other, and also to give you information as to what purpose they stood back in the day. I think the children of the corn have been here. Let's see. Almost, a little bit bigger than me. A little bit smaller than me, I should say. My hand's bigger, thank God. It doesn't line up. I was not here. Now, Nick did state that you can also come here and use your phone, scan the QR code, which will give you information about what you're looking at as well. But he said that when he tried it last time, it was in beta testing, it wasn't working properly. But they do have this sign, which is new, which is very informative and detailed if you don't want to do the whole QR code thing. I have to say, so far, I am very much enjoying this. There's a lot of things to see. I was anticipating just signs and pictures and like just foundations, but there's actually structures here, things to get up and close and personal to and to go inside of. Which brings us to our next area here, which looks very intriguing. Here we are. At first glance, I thought there was tunnels with those archways, but they're not. But this says it's a battery Clagett. So we'll get a picture as to how it used to look. It had a big military weapon there. M1898 was a rapid fire 3-inch Seacoast gun. Yeah, this is a pretty neat location here. Got some rooms here. Gotta be wary of snakes. There's like a little storage room. It did have lights in here. The bulbs are out, but there's a light switch there. It's got like a metal corrugated roof which is rusting. But I think it's just like just a layer. It's not the true top. But there's sand on the bottom, which they probably did store, explosives in here because, the sand and the stone, there's no way of anything to ignite it. So as we climb the steps, it brings us to the elevated area. And that's where that M1898 would have been housed right here. And of course, probably back in the day, I'm pretty certain these trees weren't here, so it had a clear shot out into the distance.
Yeah, and this base was used in conjunction with Fort Smallwood, which is right across the river, and used as a two vantage points to pinpoint targets out in the ocean.
Where RJ's standing, there's another location where they had another gun there. And Matt was explaining that this was basically to focus on targets out in the water here. And as we speak, what you guys can't see, but we could see with our own eyes, there is a mega freighter out there.
I'm not sure if that's an oil tanker or not.
Yeah, it's
massive.
Big though, yeah, we can see it from here. And what body of water is that?
This is the start of the Chesapeake Bay.
Chesapeake Bay, okay.
Yeah, the Patapsco River comes down right through the port of Baltimore and dumps into the Chesapeake Bay. And we're right across from Fort Smallwood, and then there is a lighthouse that you can be seen from 695, which is the Key Bridge, and it's the Fort Carroll Lighthouse.
Yeah.
And there is one thing I just spotted, which I was waiting to find, which goes appropriately with my shirt. If you look down the side of this wall here, it's a great patch of some nature's carpet. I was telling these guys there's a lot of concrete used here for the building of this. Walls are super thick. It was built for protection, so not stuff you get to see nowadays, but I'm glad I'm able to check it out and share it with you guys. But there's more to see, so let's keep going. All right, so making our way across these stones here, and you can hear some water. That's because we are now at the edge of the Chesapeake Bay. And look out there, 2 mega freighters. And I think you may know what I want to do here. I think we're going to throw the drone up in the air and get some pretty incredible footage because this is breathtaking. Give you a zoomed in look here. The old Panasonic. That is a big ship. It is moving too. And the other one is moving away from us. Looks like that lifeboat there on the back. Pretty neat. Those ships seem very similar to the ones used in the movie Captain Phillips with Tom Hanks. Well, as you saw, we had a successful flight. I'm not gonna lie, I was a little bit nervous flying out over the open water. Even though I've been flying for a few years, still, you never know what could happen if a bird flies into it or if it loses signal or whatever else. But I think I got some pretty good footage. Snapped a couple photos, got a group photo of us here on the shoreline, and it just made for a really great view of this area from the sky. So make sure if you enjoyed the footage, give one of these. I definitely appreciate it. Just came upon a makeshift obstacle course here. Matt, is this your creation? Were you doing this in your downtime while I was flying the drone? Yeah. I tell you, you work fast. All right, so we're gonna try and do this safely. Got some rotted logs here.
Okay, that next one, Jay, be careful. It's really...
Ooh, yeah. Okay, so far so good. Oh, almost.
Oh, wow. Okay. We'll get soil.
Down he goes.
Ooh.
That was swampy.
Almost.
Oh, doing good, Jay. Doing good. Almost there. Almost there.
We'll get soil.
Oh. Down he goes. Oh. You all right? That's messy.
That smells.
That's all over you.
Yep. I got a fun ride home.
I got that on film. Oh yeah, you definitely got a fun ride home.
I got blankets in the car.
There you go.
That smells.
That's all over you.
Yep. I got a fun ride home.
I got that on film.
Oh, yeah, you definitely get fun ride.
I got blankets in the car. I won't be able to go to any restaurants though.
Sorry, we're in Baltimore.
Well, if you didn't see it on my camera, hopefully somebody else got it.
Let's see. I got it. No comment.
That's what I get for pressing my luck.
Don't worry, there is a bathroom on property. And we have that hose. There's that hose. You can rinse your arm off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was not fun.
All right, no more obstacle courses for the day.
Well, as you could tell, there is no audio. After going back to the car, getting cleaned up, getting wiped down, I got my gear ready to go to head back out to continue filming. And apparently I didn't plug in my microphone into the camera all the way. So I was only hearing bits and pieces of what I was saying when I was doing the editing here, which was not usable audio. And I was forced to make a decision. It was either scrap the remainder of the footage that had no audio or keep it and do a voiceover. Being that the location's so far away, I decided to keep the footage and do a voiceover to share what I can to salvage what left of the video I could. But right now, we are getting back on the trail. I'm just letting everyone know, I had to get wiped down. RJ did help me out. And I, wouldn't do the obstacle course again. But as I was walking on it and just stepped on a loose log, it rolled. And I went right out like a rug was pulled off from under my feet. And it was like a mucky mess, and it was stinky and dirty, and it was pretty gross. This next clip here, I'm showing my backside. My jeans are soaked, they're stained, they're stinky. It was like a disintegrating, matter. It smelled almost like sewer. So I thankfully had to change a shirt. I got the Twinkies shirt on, but we're just gonna press on. So we're now at the next location that Nick took us to. And he said this is the best for last, as he called it. This is some pretty interesting structures here, which we're going to check out. I'm heading towards this door here, which they're gated off, but I'm going to peek the camera through. And in just a moment, I'm going to pull out the flashlight And this had me intrigued because in the backside there you see the daylight, there's steps coming down, which means there's access to it from an above area, but we weren't able to get to it. And showing the flashlight in there, there's a doorway there. So it's a whole underground room that does have access, but was off limits to us. Now looking at this next gated door, caught me by surprise because it is partially kind of modified to look like a dungeon. The walls are painted and there's a brick floor. And I believe this was part of the haunted attraction Nick was talking about that they do hold here around Halloween time. This next area, which is the final of the large buildings, is called the dungeon. I guess inside here there were dungeons where people were possibly held. It looks like steps were going up there. But it's a very large structure. It's all concrete. And it made for some pretty interesting photos and footage because there's like these rows of columns here, which just go for quite a way, and it has like almost a corridor, as I'll show in just a second. But we are able to get on top of this one, which we will see in just a little bit. This door is, the gate is with plywood, and I was pointing there was tarping, like black tarp behind there for the haunted attraction to block off the daylight. But here's that corridor. Looked really neat. And looking into the window here, you can see how thick the walls are. Super thick. It's a gated window. And I'm going to turn the flashlight on and we'll be able to see inside where it looks like it was more of the haunted attraction. It's all black walls, tarping. So I'm going to keep my eyes open, ears listening to see if they do have this attraction again for Halloween time. Might be something worth coming back to experience, to be able to go through the innards of these buildings and big platforms. But at least we're getting a little glimpse from the outside. And directly across from it was this, which looked really neat. I didn't know what it was, but I went in. You'll see Matt peek his head out. And it's a little hallway corridor. Takes you around the back portion of it with a cutaway section here. I'm not sure why that would have been cut away, but it looked intriguing. And then there's some like piping here almost. And it continues all the way around the backside. It's just a little narrow hallway, very tall though. But we do learn what this building is in just a few moments. And I'm pointing here, showing the bang on the walls, how thick they are. You can see the archway, how it's rounded. So despite being for military use, it is quite, intricate and ornate. And then when we come around the outside, head into one of two rooms. There's a picnic table in here. Some unfortunate graffiti, of course. There's holes in the top which do go to like ventilation, stacks up on top of it. And here's the next room. Looking back into that little cutaway section that we were just behind a moment ago. There's those holes right there. So we did find a sign that says Searchlight Powerhouse. This building originally contained the electrical generating and power distribution equipment for the fort's searchlights used for night illumination over the river. And just showing the building here, saying that we're going to be able to get on top of it, get a topside view. Now the next gated door kind of startled me with the hanging chains. Looked really cool. Didn't realize it was part of the haunted attraction, but it looks like almost like a torture chamber. But you do see a little doorway on the right, another arched doorway. And moving along, we're just showing an overview from the opposite end now. Matt's checking out the chains, and everyone else is making their way down. And then we come to the next area here, which is called Battery Harris. Now the unique thing is Matt told me these are named after people that were in the war. So Harris was an individual, but it just shows what was located here with the batteries and the large guns. And those grassy patches is where they would have been located. There are steps to go up on top, but I did see steps going down. So obviously my curiosity piqued me and did see an open doorway. So I said, you know what? Instead of going up, let's go down. And we're going to head down there right now. Unfortunately, with the audio not being recorded, you won't be able to hear, but it was a really strong echo. It was almost like deafening. Anytime you said anything, it just bounced off the walls and came right back at you. But it's a little white storage room, probably for ammunitions or explosives or something. But, there's no electricity down here. It's all concrete. Very secure, very safe. Not very big, but big enough to walk in. And then I turn around and show how the whole room looks from the corner. Now they're up on top. We're going inside this little shelter shack thing. It looks like it would have been another gun located here, and would have been like a lookout defense post, so to speak. I don't know the proper terminology, but definitely was a way to see the enemies and to protect this area here. And right in front of it is a cannon, which we will check out too. Now, I was recording here too. Obviously, you can't hear me, but I'm just saying that these wheels are almost as tall as me. They're like big wagon wheels, wooden posts, and a rubber outer coating, thick solid rubber. And it looks like there was a little seat right there that one person would sit there to possibly aim it. There's a seat on the opposite side, and it's protected by a big shield. It's probably a 3-person crew, one to load it, or a few people to load it, and then the 2 seats to set up, aim, and fire. So just showing the scale, though, also from a distance. It's a pretty neat piece of equipment there. Now, I did find this balance beam and wanted to test my skills again, but over a much drier, safer area to show that I could do it. And I make it across. Success. Now it's time for recess, so enjoy this footage. I wanted to chime in here because I wanted to go down the slide, and I was saying 2 choices. One side is bumpy and dirty, the other side looks like a cheese grater, but it's clean. And I said, you know what, I like cheese. Let's do this side. And this bar you have to crawl through, I couldn't fit. My head kept getting stuck. And I'm like, I can't make it. I'm stuck. I don't know what to do. Matt's laughing his butt off. I had to squeeze and squiggle and worm my way through. Finally made it. And now we're going to go down this big, incredible slide. Ready? Hands up. Here we go. That's it. Fail. Now that recess is over, we can get back to our adventure. And we're here at the battery Stricker, which is going to take us to the Topside we were looking at earlier. There was 2 12-inch rifled guns located here, and said that the discharge would break windows and, you know, burst water pipes. It was really powerful, and they had to give warning when they were going to be fired. Now, this pathway takes us up to the top of it, where we will have full access to the above portions that we saw from the below side earlier. Now, looking down into this pit here is where one of the 2 guns would have been located. All those steps remind me of like a coliseum or amphitheater, and that grate is an open pit of water below that where there's frogs kind of habitating now, but one of the guns would have been located there. But it does look like rows of like bleachers or seats, but it is not. It is just steps to get down there for the military. And just showing you that high wall there and the different levels, and there's areas over there to explore. But now we're going to get up the drone in the air and get some topside views. So enjoy the drone footage. We're going to continue on with some more drone footage. I wanted to show an overhead top view, pulling away, showing how it looks from above as I was making my way around to explore. But there was one battery pit there, and the upper level, there's myself standing there on the right. We'll see Randy on the left, and sitting with their back against the fence is RJ and Nick. And as I keep pulling away, we'll see the steps and the second battery pit, and Matt will be down there on his left. The three of us were flying our drone simultaneously. But that is a great overview showing it from a bird's eye perspective. And here I am making my way down the steps to the battery pit and walking down the concrete steps, which remind me of an amphitheater. And this is just to give scale comparison to show, how I am compared to that. Just to imagine the mega 12-inch gun that would have been located there. Now here's going inside the little guard shack. I don't know what to call it, a defense shack. And here's that little window area where I was showing that drone shot. I was standing right here, had the drone out in front of me and did a pull away. And that's the view from inside there. And we're going to turn around, head back out, and go down to the lower level. And here is those kind of under area, like a subterranean type of room. Not really a basement, but the unique thing was this ring was there. It's a big steel ring, probably weighs 10 to 15 pounds. My arm could fit all the way through it. And we've actually found a couple of those, but that was pretty neat to find. I don't know what this would have been used for. It's not sealed off, so it wouldn't have been storage, but it is open. So my guess is as good as yours what it could have been used for, but it was worth checking out. And there's someone's kid sitting there watching me film, spying on me. And we're going to go down these steps here and make a left because there's more steps that go down to a lower, which would have been a former doorway. Now it is sealed off and there's garbage down there, but someone broke it open, and it was open in there at one point. It does go underneath. Too small for me to get in there, but it is cinder blocked up, but it was a former entryway or doorway or manway, whatever you want to call it. You can see the curve there, the arch, but it is now sealed up, but it does get into the innards of that structure. Randy and RJ are checking out the second battery pit. I come over here to something rather interesting. It's like a type of chamber, which is open and goes down to the bottom level, probably to that same area that we were just checking out. And down here, though, something caught my attention. Bring out the flashlight. There's actually a leg from a mannequin down there, almost like a prosthetic leg. And then you can see some basketballs, soccer balls that people have inadvertently dropped stuff down there. And it looks like it is part of the haunted attraction as well. Now we're going to make a quick beeline through this room, just showing a quick light. I did speed up the footage. Looking out from the top, that's where we were before, that power room. And then coming back out to the other side. Just basically saying that I checked everything out, and now we're going to roll the outro with my original audio. All right, guys, that's going to bring us to the end of the video. Nick said that we pretty much saw everything there's to see here, and the culmination was here at the dungeon area and these big battery pits. This was one heck of a day, and I mean that in a good way. Despite me falling down, getting dirty and a mess, and stinking, I actually had a great time. I do want to thank Matt for inviting us out here. The five of us had a great time, and I can't wait to see their videos, which will be linked down below in the description, but each of us did cover it in our own unique way. And I know I didn't share a whole lot of information about this place, but I did that on purpose. I wanted to come here with an open mind, with a fresh perspective. Never being here before, I wanted to encounter it as someone who was here for the first time, kind of like a touristy thing. And it's great that they have a lot of information to share about what you're looking at and to educate ourselves. I definitely have a better appreciation for Fort Howard as a military installation. A lot of history here, and I was glad I was able to get some drone footage of the Chesapeake Bay area with the Freightliner, and also here where we are right now, just give you some aerial views to kind of give it a fresh perspective from the sky and a different vantage point, so to speak. But otherwise, we do have another location in mind, so you will see us again in a future video coming up. Other than that, though, if you have any questions, comments, things you want to share or comment on, down below is the comment section. It is for you guys, and I look forward to your comments as we go about these adventures. Anyways, I do want to thank you for making it to the end. I greatly appreciate your support and for tuning in and spending your time with me. And hopefully this video did teach you something new, show you something that I didn't know about, which was just a few short hours away. Despite it taking closer to 4 hours here with traffic, I'm very glad I made it out and glad Matt organized it and looking forward to more adventures in the future. So until next time, guys, thanks so much for watching, and as always, I'll see you in the next video.
Sorry, I had to.
So realistic.
Watch that step.
I'm glad I got that on camera.